I've got a boxed cake mix. We're gonna make a really fun dessert called root beer float cake. My birthday's coming up, so this is perfect. We got the cake mix, we got the root beer. Let's build this root beer float cake. We're gonna make that cake batter. Now you wanna make it per my instructions and not the instructions on the back of the box. So the first thing we're gonna do is empty out the cake mix into a large mixing bowl. This is a white cake mix. Now the size of the box is 14.25 ounce size. We're using the white cake mix, that way we can get that delicious root beer flavor in it. To that, we're gonna add the 3 eggs. I'm gonna crack them in one at a time. Just cracking it into a separate bowl. That way we know we're not getting any shells in, because it would be really hard to find those shells in the cake batter. I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of melted butter. You want to cool it down just a little bit, that way it doesn't scramble your eggs. And then we're going to add in 1 1/4 cups of root beer, whatever flavor you like. I like the frostiness of mugs. 1 1/4. We're going to use our electric hand mixer. We're going to beat this for about 2 minutes until it's nice and smooth. All right, make sure you hang on to the root beer. We've still got to use it towards the end of the recipe. You're going to need a 9 by 13 baking dish. We're going to spray it with some nonstick cooking spray. I'm using the kind that has the flour in it. There we go. I don't know, I always find that it releases the cake better in the pan. And let's pour it in, the batter. Nice and smooth. There we go. We got to bake the cake first, and then we got some yumminess that's going to happen. Some really fun things we're going to put on the cake. Because it is a root beer float cake, we got to make it look like one. All right, we're going to smooth it out evenly. That way we get a good bake on this, nice and even. There we go. Just gonna shake it. We're gonna place this in the oven that's been preheated at 350 degrees. You wanna bake it for about the time that it says on the back of your cake box package. Mine's gonna take about 26 to 31 minutes. Just make sure that your cake pulls away from the sides of your dish just a little bit. Make sure you take a toothpick, put it into the center of the cake. It should come out clean or with a few crumbs. We're gonna cool the cake down completely before we start the topping. Let's go ahead and make that whipped topping. Our cake is cooled completely and ready to go. I'm gonna be using a box of Dream Whip. It has 2 packages in it, and you're going to empty both packages into a large mixing bowl. Now, if you can't find this, I'm going to tell you where I get mine from. Walmart. That's exactly where I get it from. I've used it before. So it's a really quick version of like Cool Whip, whip topping. Woo! A little smoky.
Don't breathe too deep.
I know. Woo. All right. Now with this, generally you would put in some milk. I'm going to be putting in root beer, or Muggs root beer. Any flavored root beer that you like. We're going to add that. We got 1 cup going in. We're going to put in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So to give it a nice color, give you that root beer float kind of color. Okay, we're going to put our hand mixer in. We're going to blend this together. We're looking for soft peaks to form. So it's going to be a thick consistency. That way we can ice the cake with it. And then we still got a few more things to do to it to give it that root beer float look. Make it fancy.
Ooh, fancy.
My husband loves that word, fancy. Y'all know that. All right, that's what the dream looks like. And there's 2 packages that come in the box right here. All right, we're just gonna go in. If you want it to hold its shape, if you're icing a cake with it, that's perfect right there. We're gonna turn it off. And if you have a helper in the kitchen, like I do, you can pass them off. Oh, okay, both of them. Oh yeah, that looks good right there. All right, let's bring our cake over. And we're gonna ice the cake. So I'm just going to dollop it on there. Oh, look how thick that is. It's nice and creamy, very light. I'm going to take my offset spatula. We're going to smooth this out. Nice thick layer here. Now we want this to set up, so we're going to put this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes.
Boo. That's good, huh?
That's good. All right, I'll see y'all in 30 minutes. I've pulled it out of the refrigerator, 30 minutes. We're gonna take a can of Ready Whip. All right, I'm gonna put some dollops where I'm gonna cut. Maraschino cherries. I'm gonna put some on a paper towel, trying to dry them off a little bit. We're gonna leave the stems on because they just look cute that way, right? All right, we're just gonna roll the paper towels over them. Get some of that wetness off. I'm going to place one right in the dollop of the whipped topping. Take this somewhere. Yeah, people are going to love it. All right, we're going to cut a piece of cake. We're going to cut between the whipped topping and the cherries. Look how that cake comes out. I did pull out the corner piece.
Yeah, that's mine.
You know, that one's always the hardest piece to come out, right? Okay, let me show you what we're going to do. We're going to put it on a plate. I have a straw. It's a bendy straw. You got to have a straw for a root beer float. And we're going to stick it right there. A root beer float cake. Going in for a bite. That's delicious. That's scrumptious. That icing is very light and creamy, and the cake so moist. That's a good, delicious cake. Give me a thumbs up for this one. Make sure you comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and the bell notification. That way you'll always know when shows like this one here are posted. I'll see y'all on the next episode. Bye.